good morning. Day 73 of Fortitude Through Stoicism, and this is my 365-day journey of implementing the ancient philosophy of Stoicism into the life of a modern masculine man. Me being that modern masculine man, and this is my journey. Today, again, this month is all about awareness, and today the message is, one day it will all make sense. The quote, Epictetus: whenever you find yourself blaming Providence, turn it around in your mind and you will see that what has happened is in keeping with reason. A lot of thoughts here. Part of the reason we get upset is that things go against the plan that we have in our mind. A lot of times there's a lot of things in that plan that we cannot control. Also, isn't there times when you got upset that something didn't happen and it turned out that that was a very good thing that it didn't happen? When I was a young man, I was in the Marine Corps and I was in an infantry unit. Had some college, and so I had the opportunity to get my degree and go to officer candidate school to become an officer and ultimately fly. So I put in my package with the OCS recruiter, took all my flight exams, all that good stuff. Just before I was ready to go to Quantico, Virginia for officer training, they came back and pulled my file. I had at that point 3 major knee surgeries. And at that point, right before 9/11, there was a drawdown in the military. So they said the Navy had changed their policy. Yes, I know the Marine Corps is the Department of the Navy. I know, guys. Okay, squids, keep it to yourself. But the Navy changed their policy on how many major joint surgeries you could have and go to officer candidate school. So my orders were pulled. I was so angry, so bitter, I was hating on the Marine Corps. Blasphemy, I know. Forgive me, Lord, I've sinned. But I was one disgruntled, very angry man. Very angry man. As it turns out, because that happened, they also started to process my medical discharge from my infantry unit, because now they're aware of my knee problem. It wasn't, they weren't aware of it, because I was already enlisted until I tried to elevate to OCS, and that's when I had to do another medical. So not only did I lose the opportunity to fly and become an officer in the Marine Corps, which was my dream, I also was discharged from my infantry unit. Devastated. After my football dreams didn't play out, I was going to be a Marine. That was my identity. Crushed me. Hated on the Corps. And as it turns out, that class that I was going to be in for flight school, they were all flying the new Ospreys. And if you recall, they had major problems and most of them crashed. They had a lot of issues with the computer system. There was like 3 computers and they were always in conflict, and early on they had a lot of problems and most of them crashed. Also, my infantry unit, tip of the spear Fallujah 1, highest casualty rate in the entire Iraqi conflict was my unit. I missed both of those parties. And instead, I had found myself in the mortgage business and I was crushing it. Traveling around the world, multiple homes. And at that time, I had so much guilt, so many young Marines dead, wounded, still in combat. And here I was living an amazing life. It's one of those things that even though for me it was disaster because that was my future, with the passage of time it became, well, as some would see it, luck, or as Stoics would say, fate.